Okay, so first of all, my neighbor way over there, um, his grandson's riding his quad around. So if you hear that in the background, I apologize. Um, what I want to talk about is this. I've had this thing a couple of years, and I don't know if you guys remember or not, but when I first got it, it wouldn't start. I bought it needing work, and um, the fellow I got it from, after I bought it, he gets hold of me and says, "Hey, the guy that used to own that rider, because the guy that I bought it from, he worked on him. He's no longer with us. Anyway, he said something about the linkages at the carburetor. He goes, check that out and see if that ain't the problem." So I got to looking at it, and yeah, they were crossed. So I switched it. Started the mower up. It was running good. She runs nice and quiet. Okay, well, so I was back there by the garage. That's where I worked on it at the time. And I drove it out here and into the grass right there, and pulled into the grass, and I went to engage the blade, and she died. We didn't want to start back up. So I pulled her out, pushed her back here by the garage, working on it some more. And, I'd get it started, and it wouldn't engage. There was a problem with that. I had to figure out how that all worked out. Then I get that fixed where the blades were turning. And then the fuel pump goes out on it. So I replaced the fuel pump, and I'm going to start it up and see how she runs. And guess what? You turn the key turns. You put the key in, you turn it, and turn it, and turn it, and turn it. It just turn, not doing nothing. So I had to replace the key switch. Then the key switch that I bought for it was the wrong one. So rather than trying to find the right one, I thought, well, I'll just rewire this one. And what a mess. The thing's been sitting in the garage all that time, not doing nothing. So this year, I finally got around to it. I ordered the right key switch for it. And so got it in there. My dad come over yesterday, and we sat out here fooling around with it, got it straightened out. And now if you jump it with the truck there, you hook jumper cables to the truck, you don't start the battery pack, we'll call it. That's the battery pack. You don't start it. Just sitting there like it is, non-running. Hook positive, negative on the battery. Come over here, raise the hood up, take the negative, and what I have found to work best, you hook the negative right here to the engine, right there where I'm touching. That's getting hot too. Negative, take the positive, zap it right there at the starter post. Ding! And she spins off. Of course, you gotta have the key on. First of all, turn that key on. When you do this, touch that, engine cranks, she fires up. Runs like a champ. Okay? So, it needs a starter solenoid. And but even with that, I'd jump it off, get it running, and it just didn't have the the throttle that I wanted it to have. That, you know, it needed to be, you need to be able to throttle up and down and know the difference. And yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. So down here where the throttle linkage hooks up at, I was playing around with that, trying to adjust it, you know, so when it's down all the way, it's idling nice, and it's a low idle's good. But when you bring it up, it just starts falling off, and it's choked and thing. So I'm like, something ain't right. So I pulled the air filter off, the cover and the air filter, pulled that off, and I start playing with the throttle lever over there, and I'm looking down inside this plastic piece right here, down in there. You probably can't see it from where y'all are, but if you look down in there, you can see the choke. And so I'd throttle this up, and then it'd get about a little past halfway, and it's choking out. Like right now, it's there. I was looking down there. That's why she died on me a minute ago. I'll get to that in a second. Anyway, so I left the air filter off and started up, and it got it. I marked from low idle up to where just right before it, before the throttle wants to activate the choke. I marked it over here. So it's about half throttle. It should go full throttle. It should go way up higher before you choke. You know, and I don't know if I need to play with it some more until I find that sweet spot. I'm not positive yet, but so it needs a starter solenoid to start, so I can just turn the key and boom, start it up. I need a new air filter because it's not getting any air. When the air filter is on there, it's not getting any air in the carburetor, so it runs like it's choked, all even at an idle. And but I did mow with it a little bit, and I want you guys to see this. We'll take us a walk around my yard. Where we're walking at, I've mowed. Can't really tell till you look out there at the rest of the yard. Look how tall that grass is. Okay, walk over here. You can see there by the hammock the tallness. And then looking out, it's like I cut a path, a walkway around my yard. Where the flowers are, I haven't mowed. No mow. Where there's no flowers, we mowed. Okay? So, okay, look at that. Did a pass that way. This over here, this is the last pass that I did. And I didn't want to get too far out in the yard, so I kept overlapping right here. Okay, right here. And then when it died on me, I was coming back this way right here, because I went down there and turned around. I was coming back, and I was getting ready to turn right here to go back around, and that's where she died on me. And needing a solenoid, I had to push it back to the truck, and you can see where I drove through the tall grass. I didn't drive through it, I pushed through it. But thing mows good. I just got to get it running right. When it's running, it runs good. It's quiet 15.5 horse Kohler. I think it said it's a Command, Kohler Command. 15.5. It has the CV15S engine on it. Yeah, Kohler Command right there on the hood. It's supposed to have Diehard battery in it. It's got an Everstart battery. We need to mark that out and put Everstart, or never. I actually never start, but no, I'm just kidding. But anyway, we're getting her there. Get her running. I mean, she'll start up and run with a jump, and she'll run for a little bit. Imagine if I'd have kept it on flat ground, or at least kept mowing in the direction that I was, rather than turn around and trying to go back. That's what I feel like. But man, I gave $250 for it, and I've done, let's see, the 2 key switches. I probably have $40 total in that. I'm thinking about buying a new carburetor for it. I'm not positive. I guess what I'll work on first is we'll get a new air filter for it. See if that helps with the way she runs, taking throttle and all. Then we'll do the solenoid. So that she'll start on her own, instead of having to use my truck as external power source. And then she's going to need new tires on the front. One of them, I think if you could see them, the shadow's probably not allowing it on camera, but if you could see both the tires, they got at right here where I'm looking at, they have about the same amount of tread, but on one of the tires there's an area where it's got like nearly no tread, so it's wore oddly. I've never seen a tire wear that away on anything. And but I mean, we've almost got a nice running, beautiful mowing mower. See, I mowed here. There's right there where them 2 dandelions are. There's actually 5 dandelions. 3 of them's lost their little petals, but there's some kind of a plant growing there. There's actually multiple plants growing right there, so I don't want to mow them down, because I want to see what it is. I usually end up mowing them down by accident. This is where the driveway got washed out when the water main broke. Oh, out there where watch, you'll see, boom, boom. They did a piss poor job fixing it. But where the flowers are is what I've not mowed. Where we're walking, I've mowed. And then the view down along the road here. I did two passes this way, 1 that way. But we're getting there. So I need to really get there and get it done. Man, look at how tall my grass is. It's crazy. All right. People in these cars driving by, they keep looking at me like I'm nuts or something. So, kind of seems to me like I'm starting to ramble. So we're gonna call it a video here. And that little boy's having fun over there on that 4-wheeler. But y'all take care and catch you later.